shooters, loaders, and casters, welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We hope y'all had a good week. CW, how was your week?
Any better, and I just have no right of saying a word about it. It was a good week. We had almost no weather to speak of. Nice, warm temperatures, not hot. We had a little bit of humidity yesterday, but it wasn't terrible. Just overall, a really nice week. I wasn't able to get to the range, but I got to the range twice last week, so that's all right. Did a little bit of casting, did some reloading, did some yard work. Overall, it's a good week. Bama, how'd you do?
Oh, pretty good. Put on the old programmer's hat and been programming all week, so making headway. And then to top the week off, I had dinner with two good friends last night at Top of the River in Gadsden, Alabama. One a speech in our Master of Ceremonies, and another one that usually out in the side chat. We had a good time.
Good deal.
Oh, I'm still stuffed from catfish.
When you eat too much shrimp, when you try to lay down and go to sleep at night, do you feel yourself going like that, like you're trying to swim through the water? You know you do. Anyway.
And no such thing as too much shrimp.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then there's
We
those
should-
nocturnal events that happen, and you look around. Does anybody hear that?
Yeah. Hey, Dale Poe, there's my buddy Bull. You know, we should have
There's Uncle Bob.
stopped and picked him up. He's right over there by where we were.
There's the real Uncle Bob.
He's right there.
Hey, he is right there. I can't wait to see him again. Anyway,
He's already talking about what Mike's got on the shelf down there.
no. So next, we'll step down there to our buddy Six Shooter Texas.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me back in. I know I've been missing for a while, but life's been getting in the way. We had a good week. Other than rain, we've had a lot of rain here. Started another project. I'll have a video on that Sunday morning. Then I got a bag of Starline brass in today because CW reminded me I had a gift certificate.
Me too.
Last Friday. So I filled it out, put it in the mail Saturday. I went by the post office and dropped it in the mailbox, post office Saturday. Tuesday morning, they called me, got my information to pay for the rest of it, and it was delivered today. They was on it. So
Nice.
it's been a pretty good week.
Speaking of deliveries, I got a box today.
All
Anyway.
right.
Woohoo!
What'd you get?
That's it. How about you, Walter?
I had a decent week. Before I go any further, I want to take a second to thank you all, everybody right here in the on the dais here, and everybody over there in the side chat for the thoughts and prayers that you sent my way. Last Friday night, I did watch the replay, and as most of you know, then we lost a brother-in-law last week. And as we were saying kind of here just before we got started, that as you get up to this age game here, I'm going to be 79 here in a week or two. It's not that you get used to this sort of thing, but you expect it, and it never gets any easier. And there's nobody here on this panel, and probably nobody in that side channel either, who hasn't had to deal with those kinds of things. So I know you all get it, and I know where your thoughts and prayers came from. So thank you very much for all of that. And the family's dealing. I'm not Catholic, but the rest of that side of the families are strong Catholics, and they're doing their Catholic thing. But as far as my week went, pretty good week. I got to the range once. Spent a lot of time in the doctor's offices and radiology stuff with this back thing. Gosh sakes, man. I'm I'm laughing because I'm laughing at my own primary provider. This gal that I've seen, she's been taking care of me for 25 years now, and she says, sit down. She says, I'm going to read you a list of dirty words that describe what's going on in your back, and she says one of them I've never even heard of. I don't know, boy, here it comes. And she read off a bunch of stuff that I knew about, and it's related to arthritis and some degenerative disc disease and stuff. We've known this has been going on for a while. And she says, you also have this Bertolotti's syndrome, and she'd never heard of it. And you can look it up. I won't tell you but it's related to the scoliosis that I have. And you guys know that on your vertebrae, you got these two spines that stick out, right? Well, one of mine is like hitchhiking to Los Angeles. It's sticking way out, and it's rubbing on places where it's not supposed to rub. And that's what's causing the back pain. And that won't get better, but I'm doing PT to kind of find ways to help maybe straighten that stuff out and lift that one thing up off away from where it's not supposed to be. So we're doing that. And if any of you guys, and I know at least one guy up there that's done his share of physical therapy, and we love to refer to them as physical terrorists because the stuff they run you through, the stuff they can run you through, it hurts. But I got to say, I feel better after I get done doing it. Anyway, so there's that. Got to the range, got some shooting done. I got a couple new molds in, and at the end of the thing, I got something I'm going to say about the bullet casting thing that's going on here at Casa de Viejo. We're going to change things a little bit here soon, but yeah, got some casting done, some shooting, got a couple new molds in. It's a sickness, guys. It's a sickness. But I think CW might have beat me this week. I don't know.
No. Well, maybe just if you limited it to the last 5 days, maybe. But overall, no. I only have 3 coming. But I have as many days.
I have 5 this week. It's awful. It's just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so
that's
mention
what's going on.
But yeah, I even did a casting video, but it's not here on the channel. It's over on Rumble.
On Rumble, yeah, I know. Gosh dang, YouTube won't let us do. Anyway, it is what it is. So we got a new weirdo wad cutter mold that I've been looking for quite a while that I'd heard of but never seen. That finally showed up, and I got one. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't watched Texas 6 over here and his airgun wad cutter Wednesday, between he and me, we're gonna have a C note worth of wad cutters. We're going to have 100 wad cutter videos out there between air guns and smokeless stuff. And it's just incredible. And I keep getting comments on the videos that, hey, we always thought there was just like a couple for 38 special. Yeah, not really. No. There's a bunch. So that's what's been happening here. I'll shut up. Rebel, what's happening over in Rebel Land?
Well, the good news is
they're coming to get you.
Ain't nothing happening out here.
Pay your FFL taxes this week?
No, everything's good. My back don't hurt. I can't even feel my back pain because of my knee pain. So
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. I'm hobbling around with this guy, and hopefully the surgeon. I'll go visit him before the guys come up and down and whatever, but we'll have something scheduled and I have a plan. And at this point, if someone says, why don't you do stem cell therapy? Why don't you buy me some insurance that'll pay for it? And that hinky, it only worked part of the time. I want to be bionic. And I know that'll fix it, and I'll have to go to the physical terrorist and get that, and a lot of ice packs. And CW has already kind of prepped me for all that. Another buddy of mine has the same surgeon that I'm going to, and he graduated physical therapy 2 weeks early. He said, "Listen, take the meds, do the therapy, and just keep moving. Keep your foot moving, even if you're sitting on the recliner. Just flex it, flex it, flex it, flex it. I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. And if someone came into the shop and asked me if I cast bullets, and I said, no, I'm rather spoiled. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, for years, I was able to buy cast bullets rather cheap. And then that went away. And then I became a part of a community that did a lot of casting. So we kind of trade out. I got a lot of 30 caliber lead bullets. And now I'm part of a group that has some very knowledgeable casters. I said, all I got to do is send them a check to cover their costs, or send them some lead, or they pick up some lead, and we're done, buddy. I said, I can get bullets cast if I want to. And I said, but I've started dabbling, I got the furnace, the molds of this, of that, and I haven't started playing with it yet. And but I got the knowledge behind me. I'm not as worried as I used to be about going into another sick hobby. But anyway, and I'm tomorrow, VAO, I know what you're talking about. Tomorrow, you still hear me? Okay. My dad moved away about an hour from me, and his wife just died not too long ago.
Man.
So he's outlived my mother and his wife. And he's going to have a celebration of life for her on the 6th this Saturday. And so I'm taking off from work. I got guys going to handle the shop. And I'm going down there, and my little brother was like, I don't want to go because we never really liked his wife and this and that. I said, hey, we're not going for her. We're going for him. This type of stuff's for the living and not the dead. And that's who I'm going for, is my dad. You make your own decision, bro. So I think I guilted him into coming, which will make Dad feel good. And anyway, I got to do that tomorrow, and I hope I don't have to park too far away. He lives on a thoroughbred horse farm in an apartment that he doesn't have to pay for. So it's kind of a good thing. But yeah, I'm going for him. I'm going to a place. And Jody, my wife, is on call this weekend, but fortunately she doesn't have to work. So me and her can drive down there together, and I can have my buddy with me, being my wife, because I don't know anybody but my dad that I'm going down to see. He's around people I don't know. So hopefully I don't have to limp too far to get to the venue, and that's the end of that. Kind of a depressing Saturday, but it's what you got to do for Ken. Kyle, what you got?
What I've got is a sore back, hurting knees, a truck that will not accept a new engine, and a whole bunch of new toys for the Jeep.
Well, you're on the plus side with the Jeep. You're on the negative side with the truck, and I feel you with the knees and the back. So does VAO and probably everybody else up here.
Well, I'm also on the plus side with the truck because it's not my truck.
Oh, okay. Good.
We finally got the engine. We got the engine out of that thing, but it will not. It just don't want to have an engine back in it. No matter what angle you try to slide it in there, it will not take it. And this is exactly why I quit working on Dodges. Went to work on Peterbilt.
You ain't had to pull the cab, have you?
That's next.
Not yet.
Well,
Hey,
most
the old one
everybody
come
now,
out. The new one should go in.
most everybody now just yanks the cab off and puts an engine in. You know,
That's where I told my buddy to start. I said, let's just go ahead and yank the cab off of it and be done with it. Oh, we don't have to do all that. We ain't got room to do all that. Well,
yeah,
okay.
you do. You gonna make her in?
Well, you ain't got room to put that motor in that.
Right. We got the old one out, but ain't got the new one back in there yet. Got everything swapped over and tried last night to make the magic happen, and it just kept spitting it back out at us. Nope, don't want it. Nope.
You just need some Vaseline and a shoehorn, bro.
Well, trust me, there's a snap-on shoehorn in my toolbox, and it didn't work.
Need a bigger hammer.
Listen, I got a good buddy of mine that now he used to be in NASCAR. He was with a hauler for a team, and he quit, and now he's selling racing fuel. And now I'm looking at that camo 1976 hot rod 4-wheel drive I've got out here. And if I could find a clean bodied short bed, that'd be the best thing. All I'd have to do is make drive shafts for it. I've got the drivetrain to stick in it. That'd be one bad mother. 400 horsepower, 390 FE engine. I love to hear him things rumble, you know, but, and I could run it every once in a while. I could buy some non-ethanol 90 and then put a half a tank of 105 in it. And, I couldn't afford to run it too far, but a little bit, you know, at least I know his gas is honest.
All right, next week on Monday night, we're going to start our car live stream. I'm just kidding. We try to do all things, well, a good bit of things around here. We run scared of politics because y'all have had enough of that crap all week long. We come in here on Friday nights to relax and have fun and share ideas on like-minded stuff. So this morning I was texting CW, and I mean early this morning, probably before most of y'all. Well, we could probably do that too, Ozark. Here's the thing, man. So we got to talking about what we're going to texting about what we're going to talk about tonight. I have failed to do my homework as well as I wanted to, but the first order of business when we start talking about 30 caliber rifle cartridges, and now I'm going to qualify this discussion tonight as we're talking about 30 caliber cartridges in the United States of America. We're not talking about foreign military rounds, because technically I think 303 Brit and maybe even the Mosin Nagant qualify as 30 calibers.
But they ain't.
They're not. But I hadn't seen any Turkish lever guns, Ozark. So, but let me get us started here. When we start talking about 30 caliber cartridges in the United States of America, I did a Google search for the oldest 30 caliber cartridge. This is the way I framed it to Google. What is the oldest 30 caliber rifle cartridge? And all they want to talk about is 30-30 Winchester. Well, I love 30-30 Winchester, but then I got to thinking, is 30-30 older than 30-40 Craig?
Yes. I would think so.
what are our, we got Rebel's opinion that 3030 is older than 3040 Craig. CW, you got an opinion?
They're pretty close, but I think 3030 is older. 3030 was 93 or 94, 94, 93 or 94. And,
Bama Dad, you got a guess? 3030, which is older, 3030 or 3040 Craig?
I don't know, but I'm gonna say 3040 Craig.
6-shooter Texas.
I don't have any idea, but I'll go with 30-30.
Walter.
Mute, mute, mute.
There you go. 30-30.
Kyle, you got an opinion?
30-30.
30 WCF.
Okay. 3030 Winchester 7.62 by 52 millimeter R, officially named 30 Winchester Centerfire or 30 WCF, was a cartridge first marketed for the Winchester Model 94 lever action rifle in 1895. The 3030, as it's most commonly known, along with the 2535 Winchester, was offered that year as the United States' first small bore sporting rifle cartridge designed for smokeless
powder. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Since
A
its
lot of history behind that.
Yes, there is. Since its introduction, it has been utilized alongside the development of flatter shooting cartridges, most prominently those derived from designs subsidized by interest in military expenditures. Examples: the 30-30 British, the 30-06, and the 6.5 by 55 Swedish, which we talked about a lot on this very same program not that many weeks ago. The 30-30 has remained in widespread use almost entirely because of reliable effectiveness in civilian applications and has put food on the table for millions of people in hunting situations. Now, 3040 Craig, also known as 30 US, 30 Army, 30 Flanged Nitro Express, parenthetical Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, was a rifle cartridge developed in the early 1890s to provide the U.S. Armed Forces with a smokeless powder cartridge suited for use with modern small bore repeating rifles to be selected in the 1892 small arms trials. Since the cartridge it was replacing was 4570 government, the new cartridge was considered small bore at the time. The rifle ultimately selected for use by the Army was formally adopted as the Model 1892 Springfield, better known as the Craig Jorgensen, from the Norwegian designer's names. The cartridge was also used in the Model 1893, Model 1895, Model 1897, and the Model 1900 Gatling guns. Now, that's something I didn't know.
No, I didn't either.
So, let's see if we can do that.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Can I show y'all a picture?
Show us a
Sure.
picture. Those Norwegians, you know, you can always tell a Norwegian. You just can't tell them much.
That is 3040 Craig. Look at that. Beautiful.
That's Schultz's rifle.
That's Teddy Roosevelt's rifle.
Remember
Notice
Schultz from
Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes? That was his rifle.
get out of town, man. He had a K98, dude.
No, he did not.
He had that right there.
He had a Krag rifle.
I know nothing. I see nothing.
Why would he have an American? Well, it's a
It was
Norwegian.
it was a big funny part, but that's exactly the rifle he had.
Mhm.
So they didn't give prisoner of war camp guards K98s. They were reserved for men doing the fighting, right?
Actually, there may be a backstory to why he had that rifle right there. He was actually a Norwegian that always got casted to play German parts.
I tell y'all something else I learned today, totally and completely off topic. Did y'all know that Belgium used to be part of Norway?
Norway.
And they got their independence. I forgot what year it was. So yeah. So the answer to the question is the 3040 Craig is actually older than the 3030 Winchester by 3 years.
I can't believe that. That's so weird.
Well, that's the difference in 3030 with Winchester went the commercial route, and 3040 Craig was the military route. Yeah. And it was answer to a question. We were getting shot at riding up San Juan Hill with 7mm Mausers with Spitzer bullets. And it was like, dang up, guys, we got to do something. Yeah, we're riding up here with lever actions, and we got to do something.
There's chessboard. Thanks for coming in, bud. Hit that like button as you scramble away. You know, that's something we don't ask y'all to do enough. We probably should. But we don't want to beg for attention or nothing like that either.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
I still claim that part of the popularity of the 3030 is the Winchester Model 94.
Yes.
You know, for years and even my own self, when I was, you know, more of a cowboy than I am now and riding horseback and hunting horseback in our country up here, that 3030 slipped in and out of a saddle scabbard just so easy. It felt almost like a Daisy Red Rider in your hand, you know, lightweight. I never shot it with any kind of an optic on it because we never got a shot more than 7,500 yards anyway in our country here. It was just an easy firearm to go hunt with. And if you hit our California coastal deer here, which, you know, they're piss ants compared to what some of you other guys get. But if you got one that dressed 80 pounds, that was a decent buck. And, you know, so if you hit them with the 30-30, just about anywhere within, you know, 50, 75 yards, it was going down. Or he wasn't going to go far, you know.
Come bear hunting in the North Carolina mountains, and most bear are killed with either 30-30 or a 35 remedy. Either one. Yeah. That's the most popular thing they use.
Makes sense. They're the best brush guns ever invented.
Mm-hmm.
35 Remingtons are.
And then here we are today with all of our newfangled whippersnapper calibers.
Yeah, I hate that term, Kyle. Brush gun. It implies that the bullet will go through a thicket of blackberries and still hit the target, which
it
means
stands
you
a better
both know
chance
it's
than a
false.
270. No offense, James.
I saw a video one time. A guy was talking about brush guns, and about the only thing that went through brush well and still hit relatively close to the target was a 75 caliber musket ball. You know,
well, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, right. But by brush gun, I know what you mean. It's light, it's short, it's easy to handle. You know,
you can move through the brush with the rifle in your hand. That's what it means to us out here in our chaparral kind of country. It's one that is not too long, not too heavy, and you know, we don't get to hunt out of a tree like a lot of folks in other areas do. It's all about the stalk and you know hacking around through the brush and coming back all cut up and bleeding and ticks running down the back of your butt. That good stuff.
Let
It's
me
a
show
whole lot
you another picture. Can I
It's a
show
whole
you?
lot easier to climb a tree than a stall.
Do what, Jamie?
Show y'all this picture too.
Yep, put it up.
Notice the similarities of the 3040 Craig and the 3030 Winchester. I don't have to show you a picture of a 3030 Winchester. I hope you know what one of those looks like. But notice that the rim is smaller. The neck is probably just as long, only you've got that more pronounced shoulder than in the 3030 would be a much more elongated shoulder right through there. Am I correct in my thinking?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're both the same style case. The 3040 is bigger around, got a little more case capacity. And I think it's a little longer too, isn't it? Just a little?
Probably.
Just a tick. I got a 3040 Craig at the shop that's been sporterizing. Matter of fact, it's had a buck deer head carved in the stock that looks like it's been smoking weed. He's got a smile on his face. I love that gun. You can't get a smoother bolt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're super smooth.
They're so smooth. And I thought about getting the daggum thing, and I thought, man, that's all you need is another set of dies and blah, blah, blah. But I still might get it, you know. The same old man that brought it is from Colorado. He brought all his guns with him. He's originally from North Carolina, moved out to Colorado, stayed there his whole life. And so we sold a couple of guns for him. Now he brought in 2 Colt official polices and a really nice 803 Springfield. There's a lot of guns out west that we Easterners don't see. They've been snatched up here that are still floating around out there. And just nice stuff. Nice stuff. I like the Colt official police 22. It was tight. It was beautiful. It was pretty. He had it a little bit overpriced, but he had the other 2 guns a little bit underpriced for what he wanted for them. So I agreed to take him in on consignment. But the Crag, we just went ahead and paid him for. It's still sitting on the shelf, so it's ours. But I'd love to kill a deer with a cartridge that old. That's really cool, you know.
The 3040 was in some neat firearm here as well. Something, a little piece of history. That 1895 Winchester, the one everybody knows for the 405 Winchester cartridge, the lever action that fed from a box magazine. We made, actually, I shouldn't say it this way. Russia bought a whole pile of them from us in 3040 Crag in the musket version. And we made them and shipped them over to Russia for one of their wars, battles, whatever. That's a pretty neat piece of history. Winchester went over to Russia. And Ruger chambered a whole bunch of them in the number 3 single shot. I know for probably about 7-8 years there, I was looking for a 22 Hornet in a Ruger number 3. The number 3 was the cheaper version of the number 1. It didn't have the fancy wood, the spacers, or the checkering. It was a more rustic, a little bit different lever, looked more like a Winchester. And everyone I found seemed to be 3040 Crag. And now I kind of wish I'd have grabbed one. But I let them all go because I wanted a Hornet. I never did find one.
Okay, we're past time. Call out our side chat. So
30 caliber?
just 30.
Just 30.
Just 30. Not just 30. There you go. There you go, guys.
Everyone can spell 30.
Right, exactly. My dad put it in the private chat.
I was trying to get you to look at that link.
I'm kind of busy at the moment. I'll try to. Let me. They're off the page, but never fear, I have a mouse. Walter Viejo's in there first with 30, so and he's on the panel and in the side chat. So is CW2A. So is Six Shooter Texan. So is Mike Hester, the Rebel. Bobby Barlow's out there. Glenn Davis, Ozark, Spirit, Paul Loud, the real Uncle Bob, Glenn Davis, Rollis Carvelis, Bama Dad on the panel as well. Reloader 762's out there. Edward Petty. Reloader 762 is out there again. Ozzy Osborne. Tread, what's up, brother? Mr. Pollard is out there. Kyle Lusk is on the panel. He's say Alaska 1 Andy Dwayne 7834. And apparently we are up to date. That didn't take near as long as I wanted it to. Come on, guys. You fellas probably need to invite some of your friends to come off over in here on Friday nights, man. But it's getting summertime too. People are busy right now. So anyway, we're welcome. We're glad to have each and every one of you, and we welcome you in. And all those familiar names out there in that side chat just make my heart glad, and I know they do the rest of the guys too. So there's
Absolutely.
DSCZ52, my buddy. What's going on, man? There you go, Paul. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Good to see DZ off in here, and I'm missing Bull in the roll call. Where's Bull? Did he have to bug out on us?
Yeah, he was driving or something. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to go over that. They closed his dang range though, so he's wanting to come over here and shoot. And what I'll do is I'll next time I get to go to the range, well, probably up in North Carolina, he's welcome to go with us up to Rebels, I reckon. Do we want to talk about that, Rebel?
Jamie, I verified that my range is closed down too. We went on a Jeep ride and went by there. Now it's some farm show land area.
Oh,
One in Taylorsville.
Yep, Creekside.
I heard that there's a new one somewhere in that area.
Oh, Angel just said it's a vineyard.
Oh my goodness.
More money in grapes than lead, I guess. I don't
That lead ought to make some fine wine.
know. Right.
Well, Tred's talking about conviction sour mash cast strength for tonight's pour.
Oh, good Lord.
Never heard of that. But I lead a sheltered life. So there's that.
I know what he's talking about.
I don't. But I'll take his word for it.
That's
I
good.
know what sour mash is, and I know what cast strength is. I've never heard of conviction. We were hoping to have the crazy Scotsman on here. Kyle, he sent us a bunch of beard products, man. I think he's hinting, dude. I kind of get the feeling that Scotsman strutting his stuff with that bad beard of his, kind of flaunting it at me and Kyle. So, anyway, what's next, CW?
Do you want to go up in size or up in years?
Let's go up in years next. So 3040 Craig, 1892, adopted by That lasted all of 11 years, didn't it?
It wasn't long.
Whoa.
Because in 1903 they came out with the 3003. That was quickly revised into the 3006, and I know none of you guys have ever heard of 3006, right?
Nope.
No, no.
I read about it one time, but I don't remember where.
It's probably written in German. And
Well, it should have been.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that. That's beyond the scope of our pay grade. Actually, the whole time we were fighting World War One, we were paying Paul Mauser for the use of our rifles.
Ain't that weird?
Well, that's the power of the international court and copyright.
Yeah.
Mm.
So was England.
Well, that's the reason. One year at 4th of July, I played y'all as we were leaving and exiting out. I played Johnny Cash's Grand Old Flag, and the the live stream was taken down from my YouTube channel before Johnny Cash got through singing. So, or actually, he was talking. So anyway, we're driving in. Y'all driving in on Sunday, right?
Yeah. I'm leaving Sunday morning early so I can be there for dinner.
So we will be up on Monday because I've got a big concert at church that Sunday night. There's no way I can come up there on Sunday. That'll be the 29th. Then we'll shoot the 30th and July 1st. Is that right? Or is June got 31 days? I don't even know.
No, June's got 30. June's got 30. It'd be the first.
We'll shoot together 2 days. We'll head home. Either some of us probably stay over that extra day and leave.
I'm going to leave Wednesday morning early.
Okay. Is that what we're doing, Tread? Or are we leaving after we shoot on Wednesday? Wednesday's a shooting day. We're coming up on Monday, shooting Tuesday and Wednesday. You only shooting one day?
No, we're shooting Monday and Tuesday.
No, I'm coming up on Monday.
Well, that's you. You're going to miss out on what we do on Monday.
All right, then.
All right.
Extra day, I believe. Okay. So y'all gonna shoot without me on Monday? I don't blame you.
Well, you're only a couple hours away. You should be able to get there. We don't start until like 10 in the morning.
No, man, I'm 4.5 hours away.
I'd say that means he's got to leave at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm leaving at like 3 in the morning. I got like 16 hours to get there.
Don't worry, CW. We'll do something. It ain't no big deal.
But you're leaving Wednesday.
Okay, we're going to stay over and then leave in the morning after the last day.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there. Anyway, that's the hotel we're staying in. Hampton Inn, Lincolnton. I guess Hickory is about as close, ain't it, Rebel?
Yeah, it is. You got more. You got a little bit more.
Is that the same one that you guys stayed last year?
Yeah, they
I
stayed.
believe so.
Y'all stayed in Lincolnton.
Because I stayed across the street. I don't remember the name of the hotel.
Either way, keep your trucks locked. Okay. I mean, it's not the hood, but it's still small city in the south. everybody's looking for opportunities.
I hadn't paid my due diligence here. I have. I just keep forgetting.
A couple more folks jumped in here. We got Tommy Boy, James Pugh showed up, Kentucky Rimfire, Justin's there. And you mentioned Tread.
Yeah, we're checking in the 29th, leaving the 1st. So we're only going to be there 2 nights. The 1st is Wednesday.
So you're coming up Tuesday?
I'm coming up Monday.
You're coming up Monday, shooting Tuesday and Wednesday. CW's coming up Monday.
No, he's
And
coming Sunday.
all right, Sunday and shooting Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay.
No, he's leaving early Wednesday, going home.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to get up early that Monday and hit the road and be up there by hopefully lunchtime or earlier and shoot with y'all in the afternoon. And then we'll.
Well, ain't no telling where me and CW might be, so just text me, when you're near, and we'll go up to the shop and meet you there.
That'd be fine.
Yep.
I'm hoping lots of other folks are coming too. I know that originally MacMan was coming. I hope he's still planning to.
Is Gene going to go this year?
Yes. He's planning on coming up Monday as well. But he won't be able to get there as early as I will because he's got like an 8-hour drive.
I'm going to try to get my partner Trent to come shoot with us on Monday and Tuesday. And Wednesday, he's going to be the point man at the shop while I entertain. And Trent just he's got a bad action rifle that he just made a switch barrel. He's got the action wrench and everything, and he chambered another barrel and 6 dasher. So it's 6 BR, 6 dasher. He can switch it up. And that's cool because with the bad action, it's so straight, so plumb on the end. You just screw the barrel in and seat it, and it's head spaced. You don't have to use a no-go gauge once it's been made for that action. So I'm anxious to see that thing. He's got a lot of fire forming to do. And even though you can buy a 6 dasher brass, the gunsmith told him the reamer really liked Lapua brass better. So he's got 100 pieces of Lapua he's going to fire for him. So
cool. Maybe we'll get to meet him. I'm sure we already have.
Well, I don't think you have, but Trent's a super guy.
Let's show these off right here. Well, we got Tommy Boy out there. Ricky Baird's still out there. We need a bunch of these, brother. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. I can't find diddly when I need it. There we go. Check that bad boy out.
Ooh.
That's Tommy Boy and Al from NOE's solution to feeding trouble in the 350 Legend AR platform gun. So
I like that ogive.
hopefully we can get a few of them loaded up and bring them up with us and bring that 350 Legend.
Ricky's going to have some a box for you to bring to me, James.
So I hear.
I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to remember to bring down for everybody. I got a little of this, a little of that.
Well, I've got that brand new triple deuce, and I've done a ladder on it, but I've scored some M130, and really want to shoot it in that because M133 shoots great, but M130 is more temp stable. So I really want to play with that, and I've got some rounds loaded up, so I can decide. You know, I'll probably decide after me and CW shoot what I want to load up, and then I'll load up a bunch so everybody can shoot it. It's a brand new rifle, so it's barely got 30, 40 rounds shot out of it. So, if it holds true, it's going to be a one holer at 100 yards. So I want everybody to get a chance to shoot this pretty gun too.
Used to be that 4198 was your go-to, but today there's so many.
Oh
There's
yeah,
so many options today.
my God, there's so many options, and I've got 3 rounds loaded up with 4198, but the case fill isn't quite as efficient as some of the Vitavoris and other powders there. I've figured out that this thing wants a little bit of a jump. I've got to play with that. Yet to find the perfect jump for it, but right now I'm shooting a 1/4 inch at 100, and some people would say, why do you want to go any? Well, because everybody wants a one whole group, right? You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm chasing the best here, so we'll see.
Chasing ghost. Tommy Boy says if that one won't feed, I need a slight bevel on my extractor bottom edge. Glenn Davis, we would love to have you, brother. One day, 18 hours.
And one day and.
Right.
Woo!
So what's that?
2,420 miles.
24, 32 hours, right?
42 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have you a steak ready, and that's all I could. That and a drink on ice.
Which you'll need both by the time you get there.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
I ain't gonna promise you what the drink will be. It might be some of North Carolina's finest, or it might be bourbon, or it might be vodka. Who knows?
All right.
After that much driving, better be at least 2 of them, though. Whatever.
Oh,
All
I got that covered.
right.
And look, listen, when these guys left me last year, they knew I was sick. They knew I was limping. Now, I'm still limping, but I'm not sick. All right. I just recovered from pneumonia. These guys brought me all kinds of nice stuff. We'll just say to imbibe. And it was more than gracious. I hope I was a decent host. You know, I don't claim to be a decent host, but I hope I was a decent host. You know,
He had a good
I never heard nothing bad about it.
This is my thing, brother. I don't want you to feel like you got to be the host. I want you to feel like you're just one of us, and I don't want it to ever be a burden on you. And when it gets that way, we'll
No,
we'll
it ain't no burden. It ain't no burden. You know?
okay. So back to the subject at hand. Uh, so 308. When did that come out? Wasn't it 1955?
Warren Page.
52?
Yeah. Warren Page.
50, I think.
I think. Was it Warren Page, CW?
He was involved there somewhere for sure.
Well, I know he was involved with the 243, but
Harm.
There's Harmongus.
and the 308, in my opinion, as far as the East Coast, is probably the best all-around deer cartridge ever made. I mean,
It's a good one.
you don't need no more. You don't need no less. You know.
There's another one there, Jamie, you missed.
What?
30 carbine.
Yeah, I ain't studying 30 carbine.
That's a pistol cartridge.
It's American 30 caliber.
I know.
There's my brother, MCK Willie. What's going on?
Hey,
MC?
Mock.
Mark. 300 Win Mag.
We're getting to that. That's what we're building toward here.
Yeah, we're going up. Going up, Tex.
Glenn Davis said 308 was 1952.
Absolutely.
That would have been during Korea.
Yeah.
Probably considered an intermediate cartridge, but it'll reach out there. I mean, it'll shoot 1,000 yards. I've seen it done.
Isn't that hound dog?
That's my baby.
I love it.
300 Savage, yeah. Paul Lard there.
Yeah, 300 Savage. That's a old one.
That's one that came out around the turn of the century as
There's
well.
another one that's before that, too, the 303 Savage.
What about the 30 Remington that came out in with the 25, the 30,
Yeah,
35?
32 and the 35.
that came out in 1906, and the only other cartridges it spawned was the 6.8 SPC and the 224 Valkyrie. That was Remington's answer to the 30-30 Winchester, which is why the 30 caliber Remington, the 30 Remington is almost non-existent.
Okay, here's something for you. So 10 years after that, after the 308, the 300 Winchester Magnum was developed in 1962, a fine year. A 375 H&H Magnum belted case neck down to except a 30 caliber bullet. It was designed to fit inside a long action rifle and maintain supersonic flight well past 1,000 yards.
What Carlos Hathcock used to shoot at Wimbledon, and score his records with.
So it was, I'm seeing that it was developed in 1962 and introduced to the public the next year in Winchester's long action Model 70. Remington quickly followed suit of introducing a 300 Win Mag offering in its popular Remington 700 bolt action rifle. So at that point in time, we had the what shall we say, the almost 60-year-old 30-06 being compared to the 300 Win Mag.
To backpedal a little bit, James, talk about comparison. When the 300 Savage came out, that was one of their claims as well. It'll almost do what the 06 does, because we were talking about a time when everything was lower pressures. The Savage was highfalutin, fancy, new technology.
Yep.
Remember last week when we were talking so much about modern cartridge designs?
Yeah, you look at the Savage. Look at that little 300 Savage.
Well, even then,
Well, then you take a 30-06 and load it with a Reloader 22 and the right bullet, and you can get almost like Win Mag performance out of it. So I got a buddy that's recoil proof. His nickname's Tater, and he's built like a tater. And
He's recoil proof.
he's recoil proof. I swear to God, he is. And he shot a black bear last hunting season, up in West Virginia with a 300 Win Mag. Did a one shot, and then the bear took off running. He hit it again running with anchor and shot. And from the picture, I could see the bear's ribs. The whole looked like a dinner plate coming out of it.
Dang it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see ribs.
okay. 1962 versus what happened in 2018. Hornady released the 300 PRC.
Whoa. You
There's some
skipped over a
WSMs in there.
bunch. Yeah,
There's a-
you skipped
there's
over
other-
a bunch.
Yeah, whole bunch.
What happened in 2012?
We're here to compare 30 caliber cartridges.
I'm comparing
Yeah.
30 calibers.
We're,
What happened in
The
2012?
WSM,
The 300 Blackout.
300 Blackout too, yeah.
really?
You could argue
Yeah.
that.
Seriously?
As a pistol
You
caliber.
bring that up?
Listen, I'll put you on a 300 Blackout when you come down here and have you shoot skeet at 300, sitting on the 300-yard berm.
You, Six, you're not saying anything, man. You gonna let them gang up on me like this?
That's it.
It's
I do load the 300 for what it was intended to do, which is clear rooms, but I do have some long-barreled 110 grains. I call them worm burners. Those things are moving.
yeah, well, they'll kill a deer efficiently at 100 yards.
Well,
No
I thought
problem.
the purpose of this series is to compare older cartridges with the new cartridge, because we've already had a live stream on all the different 330 caliber cartridges, or at least I thought we did. Did I sleep through that, or did I just dream that? I'm serious, guys. I'm old. I go to sleep. My brain resets.
Wait, you just said tonight was 30 cal, so I'm bringing up 30 cal. All right. Yeah, we went through the old. Now we're going through some of the new, and then there's the 30 Remington AR, which was based off the 450 Bushmaster cartridge that went nowhere. This is a short little fat thing. You could go on and on and on and on 30 caliber. That's America's favorite caliber. I mean,
It is, ain't it? And you know, that's disappointing too, because I think,
please don't bring up 270.
well,
The world's funny, right?
what I was say, what, Six?
He said 270, and I finished it for him. The world's finest cartridge.
I was like, don't bring it to 70.
And when we say that, we need to take our hat off and remember we made that vow here that that will be said in reference to Walks Fletcher, who's gone on to his reward.
Yeah, I miss arguing with him.
But he wasn't wrong.
Walks was something else.
Yeah.
Now I made myself sad. Anyway, yeah, there's a ton. And you guys that have quick loads, you can scroll down to 30 and it goes on for pages and pages. So, yeah.
It is very popular.
So the main thing I was wanting to do tonight was talk about the old cartridges and then compare that to the new. But I think we've already established that fact with the last couple of these of shows we've done. The PRC thing is so the modern design for the cases and the chambers is just what's so killer.
Right. If you want to compare a 300 PRC, compare it to a 300 mag. And
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
right. I'm going Excuse me.
And you know, it can be legitimately argued that neither one of these have a whole lot on 30-06. With the popularization of the 30-06 Springfield, the 308 diameter bullet became synonymous with stopping power and long-range precision. However, hunters and shooters wanted more power, muzzle velocity, and flatter trajectory, so the Magnum craze began. Two extremely popular 30 cal Magnum cartridges are 300 Win Mag and the 300 PRC. 300 PRC is a relatively new cartridge as it was released in 2018, while the 300 Win Mag was released in 1962. Both are capable of sub-MOA level accuracy at extreme long range and can take down elk and moose as well at well over 500 yards. Although the 300 PRC has been optimized for use with heavier bullets with higher ballistic coefficient, 300 Win Mag will be more than sufficient for most shooters. Is it worth it to get a new rifle in 300 PRC? What advantages does it bring to the table? So we'll talk a little bit about that, which will fit your shooting needs. 300 Win Mag was developed in 1962 using the 375 H&H Magnum belted case neck down to accept a 30 caliber bullet. It was designed to fit inside one. Well, that's the exact same paragraph we read in another article. That's plagiarism, boy. Heavier 30 caliber bullets was not something shooters were looking for, as most hunters didn't really care about ballistic coefficient and were more concerned with penetration and stopping power back in 1962. 2018, ballistic teams at Hornady looked to create a highly optimized 30 caliber Magnum cartridge that would utilize longer bullets that were ideal for extreme long range shooting. Hornady built the 300 PRC from the ground up, creating the ideal precision rifle cartridge to compete with the 338 Lapua Magnum with considerably lower recoil. Both the 300 Win Mag and the PRC can shoot at past 1,000 yards and maintain accuracy. However, 300 PRC will be better suited for shooting out past 1,500 yards and out to 2,000. This caught the eye of the Department of Defense in 2019, and they ordered an undisclosed number of Barrett MRAD rifles chambered in 300 PRC for the Advanced Sniper Rifle course. The extreme long-range accuracy of the 300 PRC offers are only matched by 300 Norma Magnum, 30 Nosler, and 338 Lapua at this point. Does that mean you need to run out and get a new rifle or rebarrel your 300 Win Mag for 300 PRC? Probably not. Cartridge specs. 300 PRC parent case is the 375 Ruger, and 300 Win Mag is the 375 H&H Magnum. Both have a 308-inch bullet. Case diameter for the 300 PRC, well, they're identical, 0.532. Case length for the PRC is 2.58 inches. For the 300 Win Mag is 2.62 inches. The overall length for the PRC is 3.7 inches. The 300 Win Mag is 3.34. So the 300 PRC can seat heavier bullets out longer. Case capacity for the 300 PRC is 77 grains. Check this out. 300 Win Mag case capacity is 93.8 grains. Woo! Maximum pressure for the PRC is 65,000, 64,000 for the PRC. And I want to get to, all right, here's barrel life. For precision shooters who demand the pinnacle of accuracy and consistency from their rifles, barrel life is something these marksmen will track meticulously. The largest factor that affects barrel life is the powder charge of the ammo being fired. A higher powder charge will typically reduce barrel life. Cartridges like the 300 Norma Magnum or the 300 Remington Ultra Mag are often referred to as barrel burners, as their 95 plus grain powder charges are notorious for being hard on barrels. These heavy powder charges will quickly erode the rifling at the throat of the barrel, reducing downrange accuracy. Hornady had this in mind when developing the 300 PRC, as they did not want the cartridge burning out barrels quickly. General rule for the 300 Win Mag is that a barrel will maintain peak accuracy for somewhere between 2,500 to 2,000 rounds. Barrel life for the 300 PRC is more difficult to come by as it's a newer cartridge. However, 2,000 rounds seems to be the current consensus in the long-range shooting community.
And,
So,
and you know what? That doesn't sound like a lot to me. You know, if a guy's going to be a competitor, he's going to want to go out and shoot that rifle with that barrel on it and practice, find out what that barrel likes and what it doesn't like. Just about the time, a couple thousand rounds, it doesn't take that long to get there. And by then, you know, it seemed to me like you shot your barrel out and you might as well start all over again.
VAO, most of these competitors that are sponsored, they're changing their barrels out.
Barrels are consumable.
Yeah, they're like 1,500 rounds, and that's
they're
it.
Consumable. That's what they look at.
You know, but even from the same manufacturer, you know, one barrel to the next, there's bound to be some differential going on.
Oh, sure, there is.
And so you still got to go shoot that barrel in, and you know, find out where it's going to shoot, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's one of them rabbit holes, I reckon.
You're talking 30 rounds just to break in a barrel, right, Walter?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then, you know, you got another 500 to get good with it, and then it's time to start all over again.
Right.
That's about the way it works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing with, you know, racing motorbikes or cars or anything else.
Now,
I guess
and
it's all the same steel.
I've seen plenty of competitive barrels that were took off that guys have bought as used barrels and screwed them on, and they shot just fine for hunting. Just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
know,
that and that's the other side of the coin. It's kind of like automobile racing. You know, those guys are out there tearing up their cars and finding stuff out about those motors and the drivetrains and the rubber and the lubricants and all that other kind of stuff. So us commoners down here can go out and drive our Jeeps and our Chevys and stuff with more confidence. Same kind of thing, really, with the bench rest competitors. They're out there burning up their barrels, and the result to a guy like this is that I know what to go look for now in
yeah,
a particular barrel with a
right.
particular load in a particular rifle and stuff. So it's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just but it is a big deal, and I appreciate those guys that are out there doing that because I know it's a costly thing.
Well, the guy's talking about, like, I know this is off 30 cal, but take it for what it's worth. They're talking about the 22 Creedmoor, and you don't see Hornady pushing that as hard because it's a 1,000-shot barrel.
it's not a bad overbore, but it's getting overbore.
It's yeah. Considering the original's 264, you're down to 222 or 224. They're saying it's going to burn out pretty quick. Now, for a hunting application, who cares? I mean, how many groundhogs you going to shoot before that thing starts getting wore out, or prairie dogs, or whatever, or even deer, because it's optimized for heavier bullets. And the 22 Creedmoor is actually I hate to say this, hate to say anything good about a Creedmoor, but it's actually a viable deer cartridge, but for smaller deer, southeast Texas
Antelope.
and
Yep.
antelope. But for a hunting application, how many deer are you going to kill before the accuracy erodes? And you check it once a year, and you shoot 3 shots. Okay, it's on. That's what most guys do. And now match shooter, yeah, you burn that up in no time. In no time. A 6 Norma BR is supposed to be. It's the best of everything. I mean, it's designed for 600 yards, and you're supposed to get like 3,500 shots out of it. This and that. I know guys that are in competition that, well, I got 2,000 shots through it. I'm gonna screw this barrel off, put another one on. They just consider it a sacrificial anode, like CW said. It's just part of the game. Well, they got more money than me, so you go for it, buddy. I'll buy your takeoff barrel and have it cut off and set back and chambered and shoot it all day long.
Justin Lowe sent us some gun porn I forgot to show. Then we got to get to the first of the week here shortly.
Gorn.
Time flies when we're having fun, eh, boys?
Mm-hmm.
These are, hold on. Dan Dowling built 6 PPC, both of them.
Oh, Lord. I just put a PPC to rest because it was gunsmith wrong.
What does PPC stand for?
Palomino, another P last name, and Carlisle.
Ooh.
Most accurate short range bench rest cartridge ever made. It nudged out the 222 when it came on the field. In the 50s, everybody was shooting a triple deuce and 6 223s. When the PPC came on the scene, that was it. Based off the 220 Russian case, 7.62 by 39 case, cut down, neck down to 6 millimeter, and just rifles capable of shooting in the zeros. I mean, the zeros. So, if you're measuring your group in the thousands, imagine measuring it in the zeros.
That's
And I'm
so cool. Look at the actions on those rifles, man. I bet those bolts are smoother than silk.
I'm trying to blow this up to see what actions they are. I don't think I'm blowed up big enough.
So Justin spent some money. Check it out.
Yep.
Nice.
It's some
Which
badass
one y'all
dude.
like the better?
Both.
Right?
But if you want to give me either one, I wouldn't slap you in the face.
I wouldn't complain at all.
Right bolt, left port.
Yep. You see what action it is, Jamie?
Yeah, it says it there.
Keisha Bay, Nessica.
Nasika Bay. Yep, I've got a Nasika Bay action at my shop. Actually, it's a gun. It's a 6.284. Uncle Bob was drooling over 2 of them last time he was there. Now I only have one and one Nasika action left. They're out. They're out of business.
Check out Paul Loud. I like the red and yellow one.
I see what you did there.
I'm telling you, I got to watch him. He's funnier than you think. But yeah, man, I like that fluted barrel. Good stuff, Justin. Thanks for sharing.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't.
Thank you,
I would like Rebel said. I wouldn't smack you if you wanted to give me either one of them.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. He's got 2 barrels. 22 Wall Dog I've never heard of. Of course, I never heard of the 6 PPC either. That's probably because I love 30-30, 35 Remington, 270 Winchester, right?
Yeah, let's broaden your horizon. We're broadening your horizons, Jamie.
I reckon.
I think we're all in the same boat. We don't want new calibers because it means new dies, new molds, new sizes.
I kind of got over that for a little bit, and then when my collection of dies took up a whole 8-foot shelf, I said, "Okay, it's time for you to really kind of slow down." And
I was kind of mad that I acquired these Mosins and the Argentine Mauser, and all these other things. I was mad. Now I got to buy new dies. What the hell?
Right. and with the PPC, we're talking about with the right, and obviously he's got bench rest rifles there. He's got the right setup. With the right setup in a competition, and Red Raider Reloading, who comments every once in a while, shoots 6 PPC for short range bench rest. That's 1 to 300. It's hard to beat them. Even with a 6BR, it's hard to beat them. Now 6BR shoots a heavier bullet, so it after 300 it's flipping the PPC. But the PPC's a mean little cartridge, no recoil, hardly at all. Loaded with M133 or M130 and 62 to 68 grain bullets. Usually 13 and a half twists, 14 twists. And my God, they just drive tacks. They just drive tacks. It's not like any other cartridge you guys have ever shot. It's you could put it on a champion target. You aim at the point of a diamond, and you shoot the point of that diamond, and probably with his guns, you just build one ragged hole out of it. Be a great urban sniper round, but generally they're done in single feed. But why would you need another shot?
Right.
Yeah.
Unless there's two targets.
Well, slide another bullet in there.
Yeah, that Win Mag is pretty much a powder burner there. But yeah, you're going to get and let's wrap this up. 300 Win Mag is going to take a lot more powder, and it'll have an advantage out to probably 200, 300, 400 yards as far as energy and velocity, but out past, I would guess 350, 400 yards, your PPC is going to take over and smoke it, just based on ballistic coefficient and the design of the modern cases, like we've talked about in the last few weeks. But can you imagine, Tommy boy, 95 grains of powder?
Yeah. Wow.
And the recoil on the Win Mag is going to be a lot tougher. So are y'all ready for the verse of the week?
Yeah. Next time you're at your reloading bench, just for the fun of it, measure out 95 grains of powder and see what that looks like. It's going to fill your whole pan up.
It is impressive. A friend of mine had me reload some 300 Win Mag for him. I said, "You can't afford to reload this."
So I loaded some 7 mag for a friend of mine. It's like, man, I went through a pound of powder quick.
Yeah, it didn't take long at all, does it? All right, Jamie, go ahead, brother.
Let me find my place. I'm gonna read a little bit, and then I'm gonna show you the. John chapter 3.
Yep. Here we go.
This might hit close to your heart. A lot of people will say, "You stepping on my toes." We're not aiming for your toes. We hit your toes. We missed badly because we're aiming for your heart.
Yes, sir.
John chapter 3 is headed. It has a heading there. Christ witnesses to Nicodemus. John chapter 3, starting in verse 1, there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. This man came to Jesus by night and said to him, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from God, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with it." Jesus answered and said to him, hold on. Jesus answered and said to him, "Most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God."
Exactly.
MacArthur there has a note on verses 1 through 21, and then 1 through 10. 1 through 10 there, John MacArthur says this section on Jesus' dialogue with Nicodemus may be divided into three sections. Nicodemus's inquiry of Jesus, verses 1 through 3. 2, Jesus' insight into Nicodemus, verses 4 through 8. And Jesus' indictment of Nicodemus in verses 9 and 10. We'll get there. If y'all like this, we will continue down this path. John MacArthur there says, born again. The phrase literally means born from above. Jesus answered a question that Nicodemus does not even ask. He read Nicodemus's heart and came to the very core of his problem, i.e., the need for spiritual transformation or regeneration produced by the Holy Spirit. New birth is an act of God whereby eternal life is imparted to the believer. And he references a whole list of verses.
Oh boy, you're gonna get up to verse 8.
No,
Okay.
We're
Right.
camping here for the night.
Okay.
We'll get to verse 8 as we go through.
Eight's one of my favorites.
Well, we might look. I don't make me dissect that verse, brother.
Okay. There's a lot in it. I'll shut up. Sorry.
We'll get to that. We'll keep going. So, chapter 1, verses 12 and 13 indicate that quote unquote born again also carries the idea to become children of God, though trust in the name of the incarnate word through trust of the name of the incarnate word, which is Jesus was the word was with God, the word was God. There he says, cannot see the kingdom of God. In context, this is primarily a reference to participation in the millennial kingdom at the end of the age, fervently anticipated by the Pharisees and other Jews. Since the Pharisees were supernaturalists, they naturally and eagerly expected the coming of the prophesied resurrection of the saints and institution of the messianic kingdom. And that's in Isaiah 11, 1 through 16, and Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. Their problem was that they thought that mere physical lineage, by keeping of religious externals, qualified them for entrance into the kingdom, rather than the needed spiritual transformation which Jesus emphasized. The coming of the kingdom at the end of the age can be described as the regeneration of the world, and that's in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28. But regeneration of the individual is required before the end of the world in order to enter the kingdom. So good notes there from MacArthur. Let me find this. David Guzik there says, Jesus' reply to Nicodemus shattered the Jewish assumption that their radical identity, their quote unquote their old birth, assured them a place in God's kingdom. Jesus made it plain that a man's first birth does not assure him of the kingdom. Only being born again gives him this assurance. It was taught widely among the Jews at that time that since they descended from Abraham, they were automatically assured of heaven. In fact, some rabbis taught that Abraham stood watch at the gate of hell just to make sure that none of his descendants accidentally wandered in there. Most Jews of that time looked for a Messiah to bring a new world or bring in a new world in which Israel and the Jewish people would be preeminent. But Jesus came to bring new life in which he would be preeminent. Nicodemus addressed Jesus as rabbi and teacher. Jesus responded to him as the one who announced new life. Our Lord replies, it is not learning, but life that is wanted for in the Messiah's kingdom. And life must begin at birth. And that's a quote from Alfred. And then he goes into the idea that born again, translated again, Anothen, Anothen, can be translated from above, and that can be used in three totally different senses. And John used all three of those different senses in various parts of his gospel, the Gospel of John. And but what I wanted to get to tonight is my daily devotion from Dr. David Jeremiah. Jesus answered and said to him, most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. John 3:3. This is what David Jeremiah writes. When describing the birth of a newborn, we never say the baby birthed himself at 3 p.m. Likewise, when describing spiritual rebirth, Jesus said, unless you are born, that is, both human birth and spiritual rebirth are passive events for the infants. Mothers give birth to physical babies. The Holy Spirit gives birth to spiritual babies. And that's in John chapter 3, verses 5 through 8, which hopefully we'll get to next week. The ideas behind Paul's words in Ephesians 2, verses 8 and 9, which y'all have heard me quote several times if you're listening. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast, end quote. Our spiritual rebirth is not something we do by ourselves, by our own efforts. If it was, we would be right to boast. Since it is of God rather than ourselves, we can only boast about God and his grace. 1 Corinthians 1:27 through 31 and 2 Timothy 1:9. If you have been born again through faith in Christ, give thanks to God that he has birthed you for a purpose. As the Spirit brought you into God's kingdom, so he will lead you and transform you. J.C. Ryle there is quoted by Dr. Jeremiah. It says, except a man be born again, he will wish one day he had never been born at all.
Harsh words.
And that's basically a quote from Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Two different quotes stuck together, but yeah, Jesus said both of those things. Questions or comments? That's our verse of the week for the night.
There's good stuff in this first part. You know, we're only about that far before getting to the famous John 3:16, which is right down there, and just about everybody in here can probably quote that one. But you know, Jesus telling Nicodemus here, he said, hey, you know, I could come up and tell you about stuff that is happening right in front of your own eyes, right here on Earth. You know, in the fall, the leaves are going to change because you know, if you don't even believe that, how are you going to believe what I'm telling you? What's about heavenly things? And you call yourself, a ruler of Israel? Get with the program, boy. And that's kind of what's happening here. And you guys know me, I like to put stuff into modern language, and so I have my own translations. But I'll save what I think about John 3, chapter 8 for the next go around, because that one tells me a whole lot of good stuff. So this is a good chapter for everybody to read. Like I said, everybody kind of knows John 3:16, for God so loved the earth. Okay, that's a famous one. But the rest of this chapter's got good stuff when Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, because he's trying to convince him, hey, this is real. You know, you're not getting up there, except for the fact that somebody came down from there and saved your sorry butt.
I love it when Walter gets biblical. He's reading from the WB version.
Yeah, I got my own version.
Listen to this, though. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. That little quote right there, a ruler of the Jews, that means he was in the Sanhedrin.
Yeah.
And he was one of there were 70 men on the Sanhedrin. And you also have to understand their form of government was not like ours, where we separate church and state. Ancient Israel was a theocracy. It was ruled by basically the church or the synagogue, or in this case, the temple. The higher ups in the temple were the government leaders. Mm-hmm. And this man came to Jesus by night and said to him, Rabbi, we know you are a teacher from God. Well, why did he come by night?
Because he's scared the rest of them would throw him out.
Yeah, they were going to kick him off the Sanhedrin, is what I think.
Apparently, they had a Hillary.
He's fixing
times were different in those days too, boys. You know that. You know, there was no internet, there were no national news services, there was no Pony Express even, and so, you know, who was spreading information news? It was the church. And even up until the 1500s in Europe, you know, Galileo got thrown into jail for, you know, coming out against what previous church teachings
heresy
were saying about how the solar system and the earth worked. So the church was the law at the time. You know, we talk about the, you know, Pharisees and the Sadducees and those guys and the 70 people. They were like the Supreme Court. They were the circuit court. They were the law, and
they were the government.
They were the government, and so you got to kind of stick yourself out of today's idea of what government is, as well as religion. You know, now we separate them, but back then they were the same thing. And so life was different. You were not the subject of a government or the subject of the religion. You were the subject of both together as one unity. And that was a tough nut to crack for a lot of people. And so we needed, at that time, we needed direction. We needed rules to follow that were going to be globally accepted, I'll say, even though they weren't really global at that time. But everybody needed to know what the rules were. And that's what was happening at this time when Jesus is talking to Nicodemus. He's saying, hey, look, if you're going to be the ruler of Israel, you got to get this part right, boy.
Well, I still say to this day, and me and Jamie's had this discussion, the Jews had a mandate. They were God's chosen people in the Old Testament. I still believe to this day that God's new chosen people are Christians because we've accepted Christ. And anyone that's not accepted Christ is not going to heaven.
Well, that doesn't exactly line up with the Bible. But
well,
I understand what you're saying.
That's just my belief.
Nobody's going to enter into the kingdom. Nobody's going to enter into heaven unless they accept Christ. But they're the only people on the face of the earth that says that God blinded them for the sake of the Gentiles.
Yeah, but they haven't accepted, Orthodox at least, haven't accepted Christ. And Jesus fought against.
To you, but we ain't got enough time tonight.
You know, we don't. We don't. We really don't.
Anyway, I want to make one more point right here. So we've talked about man of the Pharisees, Nicodemus, a ruler, came to Jesus by night. He says this. He says, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from God, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with him. So if you remember earlier tonight, I think I passed out the phrase, this is off topic. Jesus didn't say that here, but he went completely off topic. Uh, Nicodemus is telling him, we know you're a teacher from God because of the signs that you do. God's got to be with you. Jesus said, most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. I mean,
There you go.
did Nicodemus ask anything about that? Jesus cuts right to the heart of the matter and cuts to the chase. Yeah. In John chapter 14, he says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. And we can't emphasize that enough. It's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus. And I tell a good, dear friend of mine who I love dearly, I tell him all the time, people say religion, they say this, that, and the other. Look, guys, religion is a set of rules that no human being can live up to.
That's exactly right.
It's a goal.
Religion will leave you separated from God. Human beings will let you down. But it's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's our verse of the week for the night. We should probably start going through the room. We got like 11 minutes. Woo, man, y'all been busy over there. I missed 25 comments. Y'all are awesome.
Been a busy night.
Yeah, man. Floridian snuck in on us. Good to see you.
It's 30 cal night. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. How can you not?
Ozzy, that's the first verse most all of us learned. This is
Arguably the most important one.
Yeah.
Casey Dolph just showed up.
Evening.
The answer to that is in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Everything that was made by him and through him. So, are they different? Jesus is just the human personification of God. He's God in the flesh and the Word. And God and Jesus is the same thing. Mm-hmm. Is it different? Yeah. Only that Jesus took on the form of a human and was tempted in all ways that we are, such as common to man, and sinned not.
It's hard for people to wrap their head around that.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. That the concept of the Trinity is, well, I think we need to extend 30 caliber into next week.
There's too much, Jamie.
Yeah, we got to do hammer.
We got to do blackout, hammer, intermediates, starting with the carbine. You mentioned carbine, but that was the first 30 caliber intermediate cartridge. If you think about it, the Sturmgewehr wasn't 30 exactly, but the Germans came up with that. That derived a whole series of cartridges, intermediate, light recoiling, easy to shoot, hard hitting. So we should
probably do that and talk about the 30 carbine, the hammer, the 300 blackout, and all that stuff next week.
And then you got the short mags, the super short mags. You can go on forever with this thing. I mean,
One more thing here. Tread says, isn't Jesus said to be God's son, though? He's also said to be the son of David.
Mhm.
Uh, so, yeah.
Then if you talk to my Marine Corps cousin, he'll sit there and say your quote, Jamie, and the word, the light, and this and that, and then God created the Marine Corps, the 30-06, and that's the end of that. You know, that's just the way those guys roll. You
That's
know,
when you
I mean,
just look at them and say hoorah and move on.
that's right.
That's,
That's the way they roll.
that's a good one, Harmongous. That would throw in your 7.65 and the 303 British and stuff like that.
We can do some
Yeah,
talk. The 7.65.
We're going to be on 30 caliber for the next 6 weeks. Who we kidding? Anyway, go through the room. Y'all got 6 minutes. Start us off by getting out of here, Walter.
All right. Hey, good to have everybody here. Thanks for participating. Everybody over there in the side chat. Love to be here every night. Every part of this was great tonight. We got a lot of good discussion, and I appreciate the honor to be part of this panel. Next week will be pretty much the same book, next chapter, 48,000th verse. But the week after that's going to be, excuse me, going to be different. This Moldy Monday will be the last one for a while. Moldy Monday's going on vacation. I need to go pay attention to some other things, and doing 5, 6, 7 videos a week on 2 platforms getting to be overwhelming. So we're gonna draw in the reins a little bit on Moldy Monday and the subsequent Saturday shots that follow that one. So we still got another dozen or so wad cutters to do for Wad Cutter Wednesday. So that's at least another 6 months worth of Wad Cutter Wednesday. Believe it or not, it's just too many moles, too little time. Anyway, so other than that, it's all good here, and life is good. Who's up next? Rebel, you want to go next? And what do you got coming up,
Sure.
buddy?
Well, still developing loads for the 222. It kind of came into a hiatus when I got a load that shot really, really good and started killing groundhogs with it. So, I've been hunting groundhogs hard. Unfortunately, with the knee, I can't get out on the bog plot on uneven ground much, and so I have to park on the road and set up sandbags close by and kind of sort of skirt game laws a little bit, shooting right away the road, and I get people walking on these country roads or driving by, on the golf carts or whatever, and hey, how's it going? And I'm like, oh my god, it ruins my hunt. So I've kind of left it up to a buddy of mine to do most of that. So that's kind of been taken away from me this year. I've killed a few, but no real long distance stuff like I usually do, and it hurts. I'll be back as soon as I'm going to tell the surgeon, if you're going to put a titanium something or another in my knee, I want it to make the $6 million man sound. I want it to go ba 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 ba. So, but that's coming, and I'll be laid up for a little bit, just like CW was. But hey, with therapy and everything, I'll be back. At least this pain is infinite. What I'm feeling now, and God's already told me, hey, I've given man the knowledge. You're living in the right age. Get it fixed, and the pain will be finite. Enough ice packs, enough pain meds, and enough therapy, and you'll recover from it. No problem. So my knee is in his hands. And that's all I got.
Six, what you got coming up, bro?
Oh, well, we got a wad cutter Wednesday coming up, number 39. I started a restoration project Sunday, so we'll have a video on that Sunday morning. Got my 30-30 brass in today. We'll be starting some load development on that for some cast bullets, so I can do some different classes in the cowboy shooting. And also got some 45 ACP loaded up to do some wild bunch loads. So we're working on those. I can never get to the range between the work. We're just swamped at work right now. I put in 60 hours last week, and it's going to be close to that this week. So that's about it for me. So just
Thanks
busy,
for being
busy,
here,
busy.
bro. Kyle.
I'm gonna keep trying to force feed a Hemi into a Dodge truck, and keep playing with this Jeep. We got a bunch of new toys on it. I'll send y'all some before and after pictures, and hopefully, I think it's next Wednesday. We're gonna go up to the North Georgia mountains and do a little riding around and little cabin action, kind of just get away from life for a couple of days. She's going to have more time than me. I got to come home and take care of the babies. So that's all I got. Go ahead, Bam.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you.
I got some projects I'm working on, but other than that, trying to get healthy. That's about all.
Good to have you, man.
Thanks for inviting me. All right,
Thanks.
CW.
What you got coming up, CW?
I got at least 3 videos next week. One more with the 300 hammer. I've got one with some awesome 3D printed ammo boxes. And a feller that I found online, Super Guy, does some awesome boxes. And then I got a new caliber coming. And I got a range trip with another different caliber coming. So I don't know when that last one, the 4th one, if it's going to fall before we were on the air next, but it's close. I didn't look at the dates. We were doing 3 different things here, but yeah, it's I got a few things coming up. I picked up another lead launcher this week, and there'll be some videos with that associated reloading and casting and of course range time. And like we talked about earlier, we got a meet and greet coming up at the end of the month. It's going to be a good time. And thank you everybody on the side chat and all you guys on the panel. It was kind of an all over the place topic, and we didn't cover a lot of it. Like Davey said, we're going to have to split it up, maybe do a Magnum 300, maybe do an AR 300. I don't know. We could probably go on for a month's worth of our shows and not cover everything in 30 caliber. So we apologize for not covering your favorite caliber, but we got a little bit in. That's about it. Thanks everybody. Jamie?
I want to thank everybody on the panel for all you do for our live stream. You guys are awesome. And always, we thank the side chat and the viewers for watching and for commenting. Do us a favor, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. If you're not subscribed, we'd appreciate it if you'd think about that. And don't cost you nothing. It helps more people see what we got going on over here. And we'll leave you with this. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Y'all have a blessed week. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all again next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless
Good night.
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.